Hello. I mean, this is the REVlEW show here to cover Monday Night Raw. So leave your likes and your comment on this show. Because I mean, to me though, the reason why those who didn't watch my this is WWE Raw October 11, 2020 Raw full show that you see let me get to this. You either much had you see when I looked up on TV and found out that John Gruden though was using after that game against I think against the Buffalo Bills when they played the Kansas City Chiefs because you had Tony Dungy say that John Gruden was the one had said some racist comments about sexual predator, and then so because you see that's the reason why I give you my podcast. I tell you the truth. I give you my facts. I give you my opinion, my facts. I give you my opinion, and I don't never get on here and lie to you about nothing because we had been on a podcast on a Heart Radio station for hours, either much discussing about I heard either much about Radio. We had talked about SmackDown drafting for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. We talked about that because WWE though they already done broke up team. They done broke up the New Day. Now you got Biggie over there on Monday Night Raw by himself. They done broke up the Colby Kingston and Xavier Woods over there. They done Monday Night Raw done broke up Mace and T-Bar. Now Mace is over on SmackDown absolutely doing nothing. Then you either much have T-Bar over on Monday Night Raw, Natalya is on SmackDown, Tamina is on Raw. They both is breaking up. So you have the Usos is drafted to SmackDown because let me tell you something. If the Usos was not drafted to SmackDown, they was gonna leave Paul Heyman in a pool of blood of dead if they did not get drafted back to Friday night SmackDown on that show. So you have and either must have I said you either must have this, either much go in and like, and what I'm either much telling you that Bianca Belair, I love me some Bianca. I love that girl so much, so much. I love her. I'm telling you, everybody else because to me, I look at you see, look, this woman is one of my favorite wrestlers in the WWE. I watched all her matches against Kyrie Sane, Kyrie Sane, Shayna Baszler in the Figure 4 match when she almost came to NXT Women's Championship, but she lost. I seen her match against Rhea Ripley at NXT Takeover, but Rhea Ripley beat it her. And I've seen her match against Dakota Kai. Rhea Ripley beat her because she been down in NXT for 4 years, haven't touched the NXT title. Because when she came up to the main roster, though, that Bianca Belair won in the Royal Rumble. She won and beat Sasha Banks and main evented WrestleMania. And then you either much have better did everything the best she either much could to build Bianca Belair as a strong SmackDown Women's Championship. You ain't had no other challengers on that main roster that who can either much take Bianca Belair and dethrone her for that SmackDown Women's Championship. Because you kept giving her Selena Vega, you kept giving her Carmella. She done beat them 3 times. Then you either much had Sasha Banks though was pulled. She still never opened up her mouth and even much say that she was pulled from the WWE main event, that she wasn't clear to wrestle. She wasn't that she had to do something to like the Colby, and WWE kept her off of TV for the past 2 months and have her come back at the end of September, and she returned and get involved in the middle of Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks match at Extreme Rules in a DQ. Because we look, like I told Queen, we all know that Bianca Belair wasn't winning their title. But all that build up that they did with Bianca Belair for the past 7 months, and you gonna fuck all that up and throw it down the drain, and WWE they just don't care about that. And so even much with Monday Night Raw though, you done called Chad Gable, you done drafted Keith Lee over there to SmackDown. Look, Vince McMahon don't care. Vince really don't care because you done fucked up his name, Keith Lee Bearcat, and then you don't see Karrion Kross around, and Triple H done worked it so hard. I mean, done worked it so hard though. They either much and they either much build up like he build up Karrion Kross. Like he build up Karrion Kross, he done build up Keeper Lee, he done build up Tony Storm, who never won nothing. And I mean, never either much won. I mean, she never won nothing. And then like you have her lose to Selena Vega. And that's who you either much have her lose to. And then I'm sitting up here looking like what the fuck? You have the same people. Dewdrop is on Monday Night Raw. Shayna Baszler is gonna win the King of the Ring tournament. I mean, she just fucking everybody on when she out there. And so let me get into this NFL news. We have Rick. We had the Raiders coach resign after a homo and Masida Masina's emails in email deleted by the New York Times. The Raiders coach John Gruden called to use a microphonist and a hybrid. I mean, homo language to displease people. And it said that in a press game news conference Sunday, Raiders coach John Gruden addressed an email which he used a race top to describe the Maurice Smith, the head coach and the NFL assistants. And John Gruden stepping. I mean, like, bro, he either much said something about the email scandal when it either much come up on that on on somebody on that email. That means you are in trouble because the NFL is looking at that. Because it said that also a faction how quickly the group email has become public, where they all accepted of the lead investigated into Dan Snyder had remained a competition private list for everyone, and the difference between the people who cash the checks and those who write them. So coming up, Gruden emailed Southwest market Colby drugs that Biden agenda on Sunday and early delivered the father secure at Hawkins, Sammy turkey, and chili fry and class action lawsuit at Halloween donuts and pepper fur showfall and raid done lightning season starts. Uh, Among all the aware things John Gruden said, one thing stick out for me. He said Eric Reed should have been fired for protecting against policing a bruiser of African American people. What happens to nothing having a racist bone in his body? And I mean, like, you had litter now that Gruden gone, you are gone for good, that 2 week break. I mean, like, John Gruden resigned as a head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders in the week of further allegations of offensive emails and people defending Gruden racism yesterday, but homophobia is where they draw in the line proves a capitalism was right. People defended group. Tony Dungy making Tirico Tarco a bench of former NFL players notice anything. So nobody read me. I am worse. Your beloved team is perfect. John Gruden is a guard coach. And so we get on the opposite. The Democrats breaking news that NFL coach John Gruden resigned from the Las Vegas Raiders after beginning a transcendent gross racist hypo in MISOGYNISCIC Macomo emails. Even one is which he said a black player unity leaders had lift the size of a machinery. RTIF is good reading, ride dance into a bad read bush. And I mean, like, either much with John Gruden though, and we sit up here like that was either much so this. I mean, respect to the NFL because you have to be careful what you either much send out there because you either much have either much people going on Facebook, either much line and talk about the Facebook, either much have something to either much do with the election. Them getting they was the people was the one got involved in the election, and that was a lie. And then you either much have people is sitting there coming out lying and either must say that Facebook don't have nothing to do because people just posted pictures on Facebook with them and their family. They post Facebooks over there at their job. They post Facebooks. People They post pictures of them on or their family on Facebook, their husband, their wife, and their children on Facebook, and they post pictures. But me though, I don't do that. But I just go to Facebook and just go check out Democrats and read up on that. I go check out wrestling on that because they are on every platform. They on Twitter, they on Facebook, they on Instagram and Facebook. Either much on Instagram because you either much have Mike Zuckerberg comes out and either much doesn't explain how Facebook uh don't come out and address Facebook. All he cares about getting paid money and shows out because you know what Michael Zuckerberg Michael Zuckerberg, I mean whatever his name, he is gonna be in a whole creeper shit. He is going because he's in a hot water. He is in hot water. He is in hot water. I'm telling you, he is in a pool of hot water right now because over Facebook because it smells. It's going to be trouble for him. And then maybe just maybe they stay with races of John Gruden that still float you below the NFL. Something is a last party to blame for the Lermy Jackson can't throw analysts in 31 teams is missing out on a generation talent and why black head coaches are so rarely. And John Gruden has first and 5 seasons as a head coach, 50 and 30, 250 wins, 625 and 3 playoffs appearances and 5 playoffs wins, 1 SB title. Gruden last has 10 seasons as coach, 67/82 losses, 450 wins, 2 playoff approaches, and 0 playoffs wins. Damn. And Derek Carr knows John Gruden offense is like the back of the head, but let's not forget that Gray was the first OC doing Carr rookie year. Otis has a lot of families with Carter 5 years of curious. Raiders still have to forget things out with the O-line. Because with few months for the Raiders in the organization, they resigning of a higher Rekakin executive, including President Mark Batten, to the hot start, and then the 2 games losing start in a new head coach. John Gruden resigned, and it's only week 5 in Las Vegas and Raider Nation.
Four Super Bowls, 6 AFC championships. You? Award-winning customer service, up to 30% off your
I'm
auto
gonna let you hit
insurance.
this right now. I'm gonna let you hit it.
Military community. And who else? That's all. USAA, only for the military community. Welcome into our program. John Gruden is out in Las Vegas. He has submitted his resignation 3 days after a Washington Post report exposed an email back in 2011 that he sent to Washington executive Bruce Allen describing DeMaurice Smith in racist language. Tip of the iceberg. For more on this story, we're joined now by Tom Pelissero and our NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. Tom, what more can you tell us about how all this unfolded? Omar, this really played out within the past couple of hours with the Las Vegas Raiders. John Gruden had a over several days since Friday when the Wall Street Journal first published that email from 2011 about DeMaurice Smith. Then, this evening, within the past couple of hours, the New York Times published other emails that also had been provided by the league to the Las Vegas Raiders. At that point, it became clear that his time as the Raiders coach was over. My understanding was this was a conclusion that John Gruden came to himself. He decided to resign, met with owner Mark Davis about it this evening. Then, within the past hour here, John Gruden met with his staff to let them know that he is out. At this point, we do coach is going to be. There are multiple former NFL head coaches on staff there. Obviously, there is a trickle-down effect throughout this team that is now going to be dealing with the fallout from Gruden's resignation and the publishing of these emails, which tonight in the New York Times included Gruden language. Of course, Carl Nassib, the first out NFL player to appear in a regular season game, currently on the roster. There were remarks about women, about other things. It became too much for John Gruden to believe that he could stay as the Raiders coach. John Gruden in a stunning development out as the Vegas Raiders coach tonight. So if I was a sneakerhead, cashing in on that sweet...
Yep. I mean, that's what it is because it is all on ESPN, though. Language. Mm-hmm. And then even much WWE Raw. Let's talk about WWE Raw. And then either much, let's get into Raw because WWE Raw kicks off with Drew McIntyre come down to. He may not get to do it for a while, but he welcomed everyone to Monday Night Raw. He say that are less than 2 weeks away from Crown Jewel. They will be crowned of kings in a Queen Brock Lesnar against Roman Lesnar in the match that anyone would be talking about Drew McIntyre against. And you have that Drew say, I mean, even much not that say that Roman Reigns and Ashley and against Roman Reigns and Goldberg and Ashley, and they imagine that everyone will be talking about Drew McIntyre against Biggie. And then either much let me get this down. And then either much Roman Reigns and go against Lesnar. We'll be talking about Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre say people will talk about it because he will become the WWE champion. He tells Big E that he was waiting months for the match is has last chance at it. before he goes to SmackDown, as he is speaking out, come Biggie to the ring. He tells Drew that he understands why he wants to become the champion. He has he has a testing the stars of the game, and it's sweet. He tells you that he is a uh, Spyman. He is incredible, accomplished, but he would never take the championship from him. Biggie tells him that he already left the station and he has to opportunity. He can either jump on board or has big swerves. Widen ass can stay on those red roads track and go get run all over. Drew say the spoiler of beginning WWE champion, the Adrenaline, Adrenaline, rush your people. When you champion, he tells him that feeling he feels when he won the champion. He asks him how it feels beginning champion when he walk out to the ring. He say he is a two-time WWE champion. He is proud of everything he did as champion. He's loving everything, every minute of it, but he is still chasing his moment, and that moment will come at Crown Jewels. And just like he defended Lesnar and Orton Goldberg will beat him and become champion. And let me tell you something. Either much with Drew McIntyre, when he was here, WWE had pushed him all the way across the line. And then with Drew McIntyre ended up, he beat Cesaro, beat Jeff Hardy, beat Cesaro, beat Jeff Hardy. He had beat Mustafa Ali. He had beat AJ Styles. He had beat the Miz. Beat the Miz, AJ Styles at tables, ladders, and chairs. He beat Randy Orton at Payback Cruise at SummerSlam at Crowns and Night of Champion, and turned around and lost the WWE Championship at Hell in a Cell against Randy Orton, and won it back against Randy Orton in a no disqualification match, and that set up a match between him and Roman. He lost at Survivor Series, and WWE just kept pushing Drew McIntyre all the way across the finish yard. Is a WWE champion for 300 days, and then and here come his. I'm gonna be touching on. Either much, Big E is not dropping that WWE championship because he just won, because WWE want to build up these storylines with Big E is their champion. I'd rather see him face Karen Cross, I'd rather see him face Gable, whether see him face Finn Balor, whether see him face Matt Riddle, whether see him face Randy Orton. That way they can build him up strongly as WWE champion coming up in 22 next year to see and find out who his opponent is. And ain't no way that WWE should be taking the WWE championship off of off of Big E until we get to WrestleMania. And then I want to see Big E hold the title along and let WWE build these storylines up, because the problem is WWE though don't know how to build up baby faces and don't know how to build up heels, because they constantly do backwards shit. Because I don't trust none of these people who you either much ain't got on Monday. Keith Lee, where the hell is he at? He ain't on Monday Night Raw. And you draft them now. Chad Gable. Look, Chad Gable, I don't know why I'm saying it. He is not even much ready to even much be on WWE main roster. He needs to be trained first before you call him up to the main roster. It's too soon. He ain't ready to be on the main roster. And uh and this other name either much is on there. Austin Theory on the main roster. And you either much have either much who else got called up to the main roster? Damian Priest. They can do something with him, but he's a United States Championship, so he wasn't there on Monday Night Raw tonight. So you either much had Corey Gray gonna ask me, where is he at? I said, dude, I don't give a damn about the Miz. I'm not voting for him. I am not voting for no Miz and his ridiculous dance off, and I don't like the dude. So I don't like him. And back to Drew. With Drew McIntyre though, last year he won when the pandemic hit. He won a WWE Championship in front of no crowd in the empty arena at the WWE Performance Center. And so he turned around and lost it at the WWE Elimination Chamber and lost at WrestleMania when the fans had returned. And out come the Usos. They say they are pumping for the match. Jay say he think Biggie will win. Well, Jimmy say Drew will win. Drew asks why they are here. Jay say they can do what they want when they ride with the tribal chief, the head of the table. The bloodline got drafted to SmackDown, but the bloodline is out in the city. They say everyone knows that Roman will beat Lesnar at Crown Jewels, but what they are trying to figure out is who is going to be WWE champion. Is it Big E or Drew McIntyre? They tell you to be careful because he will end up in the crosshair of the tribal chief on Friday night, and he may not add the WWE champ to the trophy cards. And then they tell Big E that they are ready. Hold up. Because I said they already. I said they already. Um, because I said they tell Drew to be careful that will end up in the crosshair of the tribal chief Friday night. And yeah, because I read that they tells Big E they will already have a plan for his boys, Woods and Colby Kingston on SmackDown. They tell Big E Jews. If he beat Drew, it will be him against Roman as a virus. And if they happen, he will have the same death wish as the New Day. Big E tells them they won't talk and just walk away. He say he can just talk in behalf of Drew. But Drew tells him he doesn't speak on a behalf of him. The Uso challenged them to a match tonight, and they both accept the Usos hit them both with a super kick. And I mean, either much on with this segment, though, with the Usos, they on SmackDown. They have the Viking Raiders over there. They have the Hit Row. Look, I wouldn't if the Hit Row. I already know they got called up to the WWE main roster. But if you put, I like I like. She's a beautiful woman. Ooh, them sexy legs on beat fab. Ooh, I love that woman. That girl. Ooh, I love her. Because right now she is very good on the mic of phone. And then you put Isaiah Swerve though, on the in the ring. You can put him in the ring against Xavier Woods. You can put him in the ring against Xavier Woods and then Colby Kingston, or you can put him against Ricochet, Mustafa Ali. You can put him in the ring either with Big E and Drew McIntyre. You put him with Drew McIntyre, man, he would get killed if you put him in a ring with them because he can't hang with the big boys in the league. You can put him in there with Roman Reigns. You can't hang with him, Seth Rollins. Oh, you definitely can't hang with. And so with Montez, oh yeah, Montez Ford, you might can hang with him because Montez Ford is one hell of an athlete outside the ring though, and he can work his ass off in the ring in his single matches. Because I thought I told you that Montez break the street profits up. You put Bianca Belair and her husband together, that is money right there in 22. And he's going to get a title opportunity because if Hill and Bianca Belair turn heel, she'll be better on the microphone. She'll be talking shit. Her and her on the microphone cut better promos, and they'll be doing better storyline arc with her as a heel and a new gimmick, and then she'll be beating the shit out of every baby face in that locker room and choking the shit out of her with her ponytail. That's the Bianca Belair what I want to see in the WWE. That's like we seen the Bianca Belair in NXT. I want to see that in 22 because I told Queen Ray, I don't want to do that right now. We just have to accept that. That's like we seen Sasha Banks is a heel. She's good on the microphone at it. That's like we seen Bayley is a heel. She good on the microphone at it. That's like we seen who else? Charlotte is good on the microphone, man. But I would like to see REVlEW as a heel. But with her and Nikki Ash though, they just need to drop those bet whoever the tag team is because Nikki Ash, I want to see REVlEW win most. She was not on Monday Night Raw tonight. Uh, the New Day are backstage as Kevin asked them what if their King of the Rain match and they have to face each other next week. The ledge of the New Day music hits and they walk down to the ring. So not a bad start to Raw. The promos got better ones. The Usos out. The first challenge will come after the crown jewel since it's obvious he will beat Drew. And even at that, he will go up against Roman, and Big E might not have a challenge until December. I mean, I might not because what you gonna do? Because Big E needs some fresh opponents to work with on Monday Night Raw. You should be having Karen Cross and Keith Lee face Big E. You should be having Karen Cross to face Big E. You should be having Chad Gable face Big E. You should be having uh either much Damian Priest to face Big E. You should be having him because Big E is gonna need challengers to either much work with to build him up strong as a champion going into WrestleMania. That's what I want to see, because with these storylines that Big E getting put in and these singles matches, you just have him just go into Survivor Series and lose against Roman Reigns, and then like we know Brock Lesnar ain't losing that title. Look, if Brock Lesnar winning that title, he ain't gonna have no opponents to either much face. Who is he gonna face over there on SmackDown? He Brock Lesnar. WWE just chunked a bunch of Vince McMahon powder that's chunked a bunch of money at him and told him, come on back here, and we got I mean, he ain't under contract with the WWE. He ain't under contract with UFC, with Dana White. He just there. And he don't, and WWE do not have no schedule for Brock Lesnar to either much be a part-time wrestler. He ain't doing WWE live main events. He's not getting on the road traveling to promote to these promotions. He's not showing up at WWE house shows, events. He's not doing that. So he just come back to either much put Roman Reigns over with, and then WWE tomorrow we gon' this feud probably gonna carry out 4 more months until we get to WrestleMania, and if The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, if he is not available. And look, WWE, you know that WWE will fuck up. Look, Reigns is a heel. He got a brand new theme music, brand new T-shirt, the head of a table, and Bloodline, and they doing better storylines with Roman Reigns. You had him beat Kevin Owens twice. You had him beat Kevin Owens twice. You had him beat Daniel Bryan at Elimination Chamber and beat him at Fastlane. He beat Daniel Bryan at Edge. He beat him Edge at Money in the Bank. He beat Rey Mysterio Hell in the Cell. He beat Cesaro at WWE Backlash. He beat him at John Cena at SummerSlam. WWE Extreme Rules. He has been holding on to that title for 40 plus days because they build him as a dynamic championship. Between like with Roman Reigns though, he can go up against Sheamus. He can go up against Jeff Hardy over there on SmackDown. He can either much, but he ain't gonna win it because you can have Drew McIntyre either much can win the WWE champion. Look, I don't see Drew. With WWE, don't want to see Drew win a SmackDown title again. They really don't want to see that. They just don't want to see him win the Royal Rumble next year. I mean, they don't want to see him do that, win it. And I have thoughts in my mind that I'm going to be on January 27th. I will be here to review the Royal Rumble. I will be here to do that on the RR Radio Station podcast, and make sure you be in the chat with us live and tell me what is your prediction, what is your thought, and post comment in a chat and tell me about it. So the bell rang and we are underway. Armbar by Ricochet as we is sending to the rope, but as show to talk about Woods, he goes for the cover, but Ricochet kicks out both bands back on the foot in a feet in a drive kick by Ricochet. He goes for the cover, but Woods kicks out and kick into the chest by Ricochet. But Woods with a big arm and a right hand by Ricochet, falling by kick. Woods with the right hand and a chop to the chest. Ricochet on the ring apron. He jumps up, but Wood tripped him. Woods climbed the second rope, but Ricochet slowly him down. Ricochet is on the second rope, but Ricochet knocks him down. Ricochet jumps onto the top rope in a superplex by Ricochet. Commercial break. Back from the commercial, Ricochet with a snap followed by a drop kick. He goes for the curb, but Woods kicks out. Ricochet goes for a suplex, but Woods left Ricochet up and throws him real first onto the top rope. Woods clammed the second rope in a double stomp onto Ricochet. Woods clammed the second rope in a leg drop. He goes for the curb, but Ricochet kicks out. Woods asks Carterback, Acrobatically, asks Carberry lifted Ricochet up and hits him with a double knee. He goes for the curb, but against Ricochet kicks out. Woods goes for a kick, but Ricochet moves out of the way, and Ricochet kicks him with a kick to the side of the head. Ricochet moves up on the shoulder and hit him with a cartwheel sometime and kick to the face, but Ricochet and Woods rolls to the outside of the ring, and Ricochet falls out of the top rope onto Woods on the outside. Ricochet back in the ring in a suicide dive onto Woods. Ricochet goes for a second suicide dive, but Ricochet moves out of the way. Woods throws Ricochet back in the ring. Woods climbs the top rope, walk across the rope, and hit him with an elbow drop. He goes for the cover and get the pin. So the winner, Xavier Woods. Look, I don't got no problem with Xavier Woods winning King of the Ring. Why would I want to get mad at that? He's 11-time champion, him and Colby Kingston. 11-time SmackDown championship. And Colby Kingston is a former WWE championship. So, because imaginally, I wanted Finn Balor to either mature win the WWE championship. I'm sorry, the WWE King of the Ring tournament. Look, this is so dumb what WWE is doing, and it sounds so lackluster in this Queen of the Ring tournament. It is really is. You using the same people week after week on Monday Night Raw. Why ain't you using Finn Balor? Why ain't you using Chad Gable and Kevin Owens in the King of the Ring tournament? Why is Naomi ain't used over there on Friday Night SmackDown? And like y'all people in the WWE, man, y'all is absolutely assholes. And that's why I don't trust none of y'all. And then we get it gets a fun match between Xavier Woods and Ricochet. Those guys get well together, and Woods can do a lot with a King of the Ring win. Yeah. Let's see what's gonna happen next week. Randy Orton is backstage, and come Riddle. He tells Orton someone challenging Omos to a match. Tonight, Omos asks him what he did. Riddle say has been work great last week, and he had to do what Orton did. Riddle asks Orton how he will outsmart AJ, and Omos and Orton tells him there is no plan, there never was. Last week was a one-time thing, and he never should have challenged Omos. He tells Riddle he is on his own. Riddle tells him no plan, just like they are not getting matches. Shaking skin, Speedies, or looks at him as Riddle say he shouldn't have said that and walk away. I mean, it ain't no tag teams over there. Look at WWE done broke up the Mustafa Ali. They done broke up the Massatas. They done broke up South Ali. And I mean, the New Day, they done broke them up. They over there on SmackDown. The Viking Raiders is over there on SmackDown. That's the reason why y'all do not have no tag teams over there on SmackDown. Y'all do not have no tag teams over there on both brands. And then we get Mustafa Mansour's and Mustafa Ali versus Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. The bell rang and we are underway. While Shelton and Ali are in the ring, Shelton throws Ali down and Cedric is tagging and Ali make the tag in Mustafa with a clothesline and automatically drop followed by a kick to the side of the head by Mustafa Mansour's Ali is tagging in and the double team Cedric Ali knocks Shelton out the ring, a apron and Mansour's with a suicide dive and drive onto Shelton. And Ali he goes to the splash, but Cedric moves out of the way. Cedric hit him with the Masapa drive. Cedric goes for the cover and get the pin. The win look. A good win for Cedric and Shelton Benjamin. They should really be going after the tag team titles. And for Masapa and Ali, you know that have a match in Mansour's home in the country of Saudi Arabia at Crown Jewels. That's good for them. That's good. I don't care. So this match doesn't do any favors for me at all. It just really don't. And the Queen of the Ring tournament, we get Shayna Baszler versus Dana Brooke. Look, this match was just last week. Shayna Baszler beat her. Why is WWE going back and forth with these rematches again? So we had the bell ring, and we are underway. Brooke throws Shayna in the corner, and right hand by Brooke. She slams Shayna face first into the turnbuckle. She goes for a back elbow, but Shayna catches her in the clutch. Brooke slams Shayna down. She goes for the cover, but Shayna kicks out. Shayna grabs Dana's leg and gets the ankle lock on her. Dana gets out of it, but Shayna with a knee to the face. She goes for the cover and gets the pin. Look, Shayna Baszler is a badass. Now we seen that Shayna Baszler, she finally gonna come back to herself as she was in NXT. And she probably gonna win the tournament because right now though I'm really getting kind of anxious that Nia Jax is gonna get right involved up into that match and cost Shayna Baszler the queen of the ring tournament because she haven't forgot that what Shayna Baszler did to her, and you probably gonna have Doudrop come out and save. I mean, I don't know what side Doudrop be. I don't know if she on Nia Jax side. I don't know what Doudrop on because WWE writers they either much got this in a loop de loop, twisted up because you know it's trust issues in the company. This is what they have to be done with Shayna Baszler, have her just defeat everyone in the women's division. Yeah, and we get Charlotte is backstage. She say who cares about Shane and what will happen between them other women doesn't interesting her. She say she is the Raw Woman Champion. She is the most declared female and she is reliable. Bianca doesn't have the killer instinct and Becky talks in the talk but doesn't walk the walk and she has defended Sasha many times. She hopes she wins at Crown Jewel that why she can beat her and become a double champion. And man, that ain't gonna happen. It really ain't gonna happen. Because with Charlotte though, with WWE, every time when Charlotte win, WWE ain't gonna never give Charlotte the credit of what she do. WWE ain't gonna never give Charlotte the credit what she do because Charlotte though I know she's an ass kicking woman, she's a hard in ring worker outside the ring and inside the ring that she is talented and she has that killing instinct and that attitude off of her. It that's desires Charlotte. It's the fires of Charlotte that the fans though don't want to live up to that because they get tired of Charlotte, get tired of shot after title shot, and she's a 5-time Raw Women's Champion and either much 2-time SmackDown champion and a 1-time tag team championships. And then fans just hate Charlotte because she just constantly winning. And like, bro, Charlotte though is gonna be she main event at WrestleMania, but Charlotte is the one that people she's a heel. So why would you say that? Look, if Charlotte Flair, you know when her contract go up because you know WWE down inside enough power and they power to keep her in WWE because they don't ain't gonna let her go. And so with Charlotte is this people are tired of Charlotte because they just really is every time he wins. Like she just so jealous of other women back there in the locker room. She is just jealous of every female back there in the locker room. She thinks she is better than him. We seen her versus Becky. We seen her versus Sasha Banks a bunch of times when they was playing hot potato with that title. We seen her versus Belly. We seen her versus Nia Jax. We seen her versus Alexa Bliss. We seen all the matches. But we seen her versus Rhea Ripley. Look, Rhea Ripley would get her win down the road against Charlotte. Some of these days, she would get her win and take the title away from Charlotte. But I mean, today was Rhea Ripley's birthday, and this girl is 25 years old. And I'm older than her. I'm 27. She 25. I'm finna be 28 in December. So, let me do something. Yeah, because Rhea Ripley is going to be in the company for the next. Because she is going to be, you see this, happy Rhea Ripley, happy birthday. She is going to be in the company for the next 10 plus years. For the next 10 plus years, she going to be in the company. So this is, I mean, I just read that. Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. All right, let me get this down. Because Rhea Ripley versus Omos with AJ Styles. Before the match, Rhea tells Omos he has been thinking Rhea would cut a promo around Randy now, but Orton say Orton is probably waiting for the cold words. He say, I heard voices in my head, but AJ tells the referee this is recussion. Rhea is stealing. Everyone see is telling the referee to ring the bell as Riddle cheating and Orton and as do the fans. The bell rang and we are underway. Riddle tells the outside of the ring as he hit AJ with a kick, almost grabbed Riddle and throw him into the ring. And big splashes by Omos. He grabbed Riddle and hit him with a choke slam. And Omos goes for the cover, but AJ tells Omos not to go for the cover. AJ tells him that he wants to see a roundhouse kick. Riddle stand up and Omos hit him with a roundhouse kick. And AJ say he wants to see that on instead replay. The kicks is shown on the biggest screen. AJ asks to see it again, but in a slow motion, almost pick Riddle up and slam him. He goes for the cover and gets the pin. The winner. But Omos win. Look, this match didn't last long. Because you really think Omos is ready for a singles match and WWE ain't trying to build him up for that because they look at him as the next great Khali. How he's going to fit in these matches with Omos, with Drew McIntyre, with the Roman Reigns, the Drew McIntyre, Omos, the Bobby Ashley's, how he's going to fit in there with these top stars on that main roster, and WWE ain't gonna push him up to his high potential level, and they are gonna fuck over on us. That's what they are gonna do because he is not winning titles any soon. So you just got him stuck with AJ Styles. Because I don't know why did WWE, why didn't they split them up and have them go? They said where AJ should have went to SmackDown. They refused to drag him on Monday Night Raw. And almost just should have just stayed on Raw by himself and let AJ go to SmackDown. And that's what WWE should have did because AJ Styles did much as possible what he can do on there before he get ready to lace his boots up. Because after the match, AJ told Omos that Omos is done, but he is not. AJ get in the ring, but our music hits AJ and Omos still get out of the ring as AJ stays in the ring. Omos walked around the ring, but Omos is standing behind AJ and he hit him with an RKO. He and Riddle leave the ring. Oh yeah, they gonna be facing off with each other coming up next week in Saudi Arabia. Biggie and Drew are backstage, and Biggie say they will kill each other in a crown jewels, but they have to team up for one night because the Usos are a seven-time tag team champion. Drew say if the Usos are here, it'll be coming. Roman has allowed them, which means that Roman is worried about them. Biggie expanding his hand, and they both shake hands in lead. Omar just destroyed Riddle out there, but AJ was the ultimatum. He tells Omar not to go for the pin right away. This feud between those two teams has actually been good. Yeah. But out come Bobby Ashley to the ring has say a lot of people ask him why he would challenge Goldberg to a no holds bar match. He asked if they heard Goldberg talked about how he was going to end his life. Ashley say has behalf is not backtelling of a superstar of father. He asked them if you have someone deserve like $1 million every week who has defending the WWE champion all years, or someone would cut a slavery scream about murdering Ashley. He can't go into a match, into a fight with a man who is screaming. He say the icon of Goldberg has been reddish to a dog, and Goldberg has strongly bit off, but that dog need to be put down at Crown Jewels with no rules. He will finally end Goldberg's career. He tells Goldberg that he can't beat him, he can't hurt him, and he can't kill the Almighty as Bobby leave the ring. Look, man, you know Bill Goldberg is going to be fighting and inching and causing and scratching to get his win back at SummerSlam. I mean, at Crown Jewels. That means that he is going to hit him with jackhammer back and forward into the barricade, and then he's going to be picking up these objects. And then with Bill Goldberg, he haven't forgot about how he got fucked out of that WWE championship. But if WWE would have put the title on Bill Goldberg, that means he would have had kept it for the past, I think, 4 months to whoever the winner at the Royal Rumble who will challenge him. That's the way you gotta beat him. So you have to beat Goldberg for that WWE championship. The same thing like they doing with Brock Lesnar. If he wins WWE champion, Universal champion, that means that you ain't gonna see that WWE championship into 22, because it ain't nobody on the main roster for him to face. I mean, yeah, nobody on the main roster for him to face. So Sasha Banks is backstage. So she say ever since Charlotte has been drafted to SmackDown. She thinks that she called the shots, but it's Becky who is the champion. And tonight she has to team up with them personally who lost the champion. But the Bianca should follow her at Crown Jewel. She will beat both Bianca and Becky and become the SmackDown champion. Yeah, you remember what I said last week? That Sasha Banks have to win that championship. She should beat Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks should beat Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair and then take the SmackDown Women's Championship over there to SmackDown. I would like to see her work with components like Selena Vega, Toni Storm, Zaya Lee, Natalia, Tegan Knox, and Tegan Knox over there on SmackDown and Charlotte over there. Then, we don't want to see Charlotte versus Sasha Banks. I mean, but going on 9 months until we either much head into WrestleMania, and people gonna say, "Oh, this feud is starting to get boring," and they ain't even much giving us no build up with this storyline, just like they is supposed to. That's why they didn't have Tegan Knox and Sasha Blackheart on television because WWE they don't have no storyline put in place for them, and they break them up. And you really think Vince McMahon is going to give you a brand new gimmick and thinking you're going to be successful with it? You are crazy. It don't work like that with him. It don't work like that with him, and they want to bury every motherfucker who is a babyface, who is Triple H henchman, and don't want you to be successful. That's how the writers is. They show up and get paid too. The promoters show up and get paid. The people in the interview show up and get paid every week. They have bills to pay and family to feed. And you want to sit up there and thinking that it's um good. Why is you ain't building up Keith Lee as a heel? Why is he on Raw every week? Why is Karen Cross ain't on Raw every week? Why is you see, he wasn't there? Kevin Owens wasn't there on Monday Night Raw, and since he been drafted there. But when his contract go up, I hope he leaves WWE and there's go to AEW and sign with them. Because he have nothing else for you to do. So Ashley shot into Bobby Ashley not. I don't want to talk about this. Please, no, I don't want to talk about this. No, I'm done talking about Bobby Ashley and Bill Goldberg. I'm done talking about this. Jeff Hardy versus Austin Theory. Ring and we are underway. Why Hardy with a right hand as he slammed Theories into the turnbuckle. Jeff claimed the second rope in a double as he goes for the turn twist fake. Theory is blocking it and he with a drop kick. He goes for the cover, but Jeff kicks out. Out comes Reginald as he is doing chasing by chase Reginald away and in comes R-Truth as Theory is disrupted this with a Ultimo drop Jeff with the twister fake. He goes for the Swanton bomb, but Theory moves out of the way. Theory goes for the cover as he grabs Jeff pants and gets the pin. I mean, they need to look. Reginald, he's there every week on Monday Night Raw with 24/7. Look, he don't do nothing for me. He don't do nothing in these divisions. For me, I don't know why I'm talking about the goofball. I don't know why I'm talking about him. I don't like the dude. And if WWE would have just released it, Reginald, look, Vince likes him. The 24/7, they need to get rid of that belt. It don't have no reason to still be there. Get rid of it. Austin Theory down there, look, he beat Jeff Hardy. Dude, you should be facing somebody like a Matt Riddle and Drew McIntyre and Keith Lee and Karen Cross and a Bob Ashley and a Big E. You should be facing somebody. That's who WWE should be building him up young into a That's who I mean, WWE do right by this guy. Build him up as a top baby face and let him win the Royal Rumble and face Roman Reigns. And then to me, I don't think WWE is gonna do that because you know how Vince is that he don't understand how to build his superstars. He is just too unselfish and unradical to do that. Becky is backstage and she says she was fortunate each to win the strongest match in heart, thinking that her beginning rallies is what she think will have her win and Sasha want her to follow her, but she remembers beat Sasha at WrestleMania and she would never beat Becky at SummerSlam, but she will knock Becky back to beginning Becky no belt. I mean, yeah, because you remember what I told you that Bianca Belair is going to get her win back. Probably not at WWE Survivor Series because they got a bunch of build up to do in November. On Monday for Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, they got a bunch of storylines to be built up. I know it's going to be rematch after rematches because Bianca Belair only going to be on the bread brand. Cause you got Damian Priest, Bianca Belair, you got Chad Gable, you got Becky Lynch on that show. They gotta finish up that storyline between those two. You either much got Big E on that show, Damian Priest on that show. You got either much the Chad Gable, I mean, you drop on that show, you got either much. I mean, it's my women who I can actually either much name, but Betty didn't get drafted, so she probably would pop up to Monday Night Raw when she get back. She's a free agent anyway. You either much Lacey Evans when she get back, she probably would just pop up on SmackDown. Ain't no telling where she gonna end up, but she's still pregnant with her child. So you either much got Xylee, you got Xylee, the hit roll on that show. You got Shanky over there on SmackDown. You either much got the hit roll over there on SmackDown, the new Colby Kingston and Xavier Woods on SmackDown. You got Tony Storm on SmackDown. Zelina Vega and Carmella is on Raw. You either much got, Dana Brooke is on Raw. Eve Marie, she didn't get drafted to no brand. You got Nia Jax, she didn't get drafted. Naomi is over there on SmackDown. You either much have Tamina is on Raw, Natalia is on Raw, Profit is on Monday Night Raw. They wasn't there. Damian Priest is on Monday Night Raw, so is Kevin Owens on Monday Night Raw. And you either much got the Usos is on SmackDown. They all want to be on the same brand week after week for the whole year. But me, what I think, I wish they ended the brand split. Everybody can just pop up in any shows whenever they want to. Because you know Bianca Belair can face Becky in a tables and ladders and chairs match, and then and try to put Bianca Belair over as WWE Raw Women Championship. And if she do win it, who is gonna be? You need challengers for her. Right now, Monday Night Raw do not have no top heels for her to face. Talking about you got Rhea Ripley over there, Nikki Ash over there. Look, she can beat both of their ass. She beat both of their ass over there on Monday Night Raw. But that's why you don't have a deep women's division roster over there. And you got Aaliyah over there. She haven't been seen on television. New parties and instant Austin Theories and Jeff get those small punches. They always ended up being nothing. Yeah, this match wasn't. I ain't do nothing for me either. So the King of the Ring match, Jinder Mahal versus Colby Kingston. The bell rang and we are underway. Jinder with a headlock as he Kingston Kofi down. Right hand by Jinder as he throw Kofi to the corner, but Kofi jumps off the second rope and his Jinder with a drop kick. Kofi with a hurricane, knocking Jinder to the outside. Kofi with a kick to the face. Kofi climbs the top rope and he jumped down on uh back from the Kofi with a drop kick. Kofi with a crossbody off the second rope. He goes for the cover, but Jinder kicks out. Both men's back up, but a grit blast by Jinder. He goes for the cover, but Kofi kicks out. Jinder plates Kofi the top rope. Kofi climbed the second rope, but Kofi with a right hand as he knocked Jinder down. Kofi with a spring leash off the second rope. He goes for the cover, but Jinder kicks out. Kingston with a kick to the chest. Shinsky directed Kofi, but Woods him down. Woods kick out as Kofi knocks VER vendor down. Ken rolls Kingston for the behind, but Kingston kicks out and kick to the face. But Kingston, he climbed the top rope. He jumps, but and he hits him with the Kendo, KALLAS, Kendo. He goes for the cover and get the pin. Me though, I didn't care. Kingston against Woods and could have been fun, but they going with gender. They mean one of gender, Woods, Sammer, or Ballard will win the King of the Ring. I will go with Finn to win the King of the Ring, but Monday Night Raw supposed to be pushing him as a fresh baby face. After all I seen what he do in NXT when he came back in 2019, this dude had beat it. Adam Cole, Keith Dunn, Roderick Strong, uh, everybody down there and became a two-time NXT championship. Because he is a WWE. Look, he an underdog. Because WWE need to put him in these fresh storylines on Monday Night Raw. Becky Lynch is backstage. She she doesn't have much to say. She says she has been the all and the reason why she was the longest reigning War Women champion. She say Charlotte isn't replenished. REPULSIV replenish this, but she will win tonight. Unlikely Bianca, who lost in 26 seconds, or Sasha, who goes home every time she loses. Sasha says she will walk out as SmackDown Women's Champion. These women in these segments backstage, back and forth with each other first. Charlotte going at Bianca Belair and Becky and Sasha. Bianca goes after Sasha Banks and Bianca. And Becky goes right back and talk about what she did at SummerSlam. And you both did not win because Becky didn't get pinned at Extreme Rules, and Sasha was. And I told Queen, Sasha is going to interfere in that match coming up at Crown Jewels. I told her, and she don't think that Becky is on Sasha Banks' side, and I look up. I said, no, the hell she ain't on her side. Because Sasha Banks she's still pissed off at that loss at WrestleMania. She's still pissed off, and she haven't forgot about it. She hasn't forgot about that loss. And Sasha Banks told Bianca Belair, "Me and you, we ain't done at SummerSlam because I know I wasn't cleared to be at SummerSlam, but I haven't forgot about you. I have not forgot about you." And Bianca Belair, she wanted Sasha Banks because when she said me and Sasha, we still got unfinished business to do. So we get to this match, Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. Bianca and Sasha angry over who will start the match. Bianca throws Sasha in the corner as Becky attacked Bianca from behind. Charlotte is knocking off the ring gate and Sasha pulls Bianca away in. Comes Charlotte, who goes after Sasha, refusing to come out to the ring to try and break it up. Charlotte throws Sasha to the side. Becky with suplex. Charlotte hits Becky with the big boot and Becky to the outside. Charlotte climbs the top rope, but Sasha knocks her down. Charlotte off the top rope, out the ring apron. Sasha clam in the top rope, but Becky grabs Sasha and throws her out of the top rope. So out comes Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville. They say they will not stand for this and they are going to have their match. Becky from and we are underway. Sasha and Charlotte start the match in back elbow by Charlotte as she knocks Sasha down. She goes for the figure four-way for as Sasha rolls her up, but Charlotte kicks out in a hurricane corona by Sasha, and Sasha runs hard Charlotte, but Charlotte slammed her into the mat in a snap mare by Charlotte as she runs to the ropes, and Becky tags herself in. Becky runs to the ropes and she goes for a leg drop, but Sasha moves out of the way. Sasha with the Mortuary, METERORA, Mortuary. Sasha goes for the cover, but Becky kicks out. Bianca is tagging an armbar by Bianca, and she is tagging Becky in. in a arm bar by Sasha, and Bianca is tagging back and she goes for a double X, but Becky moves out of the way. Sasha to the outside and Bianca with a suplex. Becky and big splash by Bianca. She goes for the cover, but Becky kicks out Bianca on the second rope as she tagged herself. So Bianca to the outside and knee in the face by Sasha onto Becky. Sasha goes for the bank statement, but Becky goes for the demolish her ass. Charlotte and Becky angry and Sasha hit her with the bank statement. But backstabber, I mean Becky and Sasha fight in the ring. Slam Sasha down. Bianca throws Sasha face first into the turnbuckle as the referee calls for the bell. And a winner in a no disqualification. Becky lifts up as she goes for the kill, but Sasha hit her with the bank stabber and kick to the face by Becky onto Sasha as she hit her with the manhandle slam. The protection all four women, but this just like a disgrace even before the bell rigging. I mean, none of these girls did not want to team up with each other. First, they was getting along a little bit, and all chaos broke out again. Bianca and Sasha didn't want to tag with each other. Um, Charlotte and Show did not want to tag with Bianca Belair, and I mean with Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch did not want to tag with no Charlotte, and they did not. They was not on the same page. You know, it's issues with all four of these girls in the match, and they don't give a fuck about that. They just want to beat the living hell out of each other because Bianca Belair put Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch to a table at last week at Friday Night SmackDown, and Charlotte come back thinking she's more in Becky, and Becky thinking she more in her. And we done seen them fight multiple times. But as of right now, they are going to be. So I hope you know how dumb that WWE be doing. They probably going to try. Sasha Banks is going to win it. And I said that Sasha Banks is going to end up winning it and take the title over to SmackDown, and then you know that Charlotte, they probably going to swipe titles. In the Queen Crown Tournament match, Doudrop versus Natalia, the bell rang and we are underway. Natalia snapped Doudrop in a right hand by Natalia with a hand lock, but Doudrop sending her into the ropes in a chop to the chest by Natalia. She runs to the ropes by Doudrop, knocking her down. Doudrop goes for a splash, but he moves out of the way. Natalia with a drop kick. She goes for the cover, but Doudrop, she goes for the cover, but Doudrop kicks out. Natalia with a embellishment stretch and embodiment stretch as the show. Shayna Baszler watches the match. Doudrop throws Natalia down and hit her with a splash in the corner. Dewdrop but Natalia moves out of the way in a clothesline by Natalia as she goes for the curve, but Dewdrop kicks out. Natalia goes for the snapshot, but Dewdrop with a slap to the face rolls Natalia up and gets the pin. It didn't last long, so you know her and Shayna Baszler are gonna be facing off against each other next week. And I just told you that I think Nia Jax is gonna get involved in this match and fuck it up and cause her the King of the Ring tournament. And Dewdrop wins it by a DQ. But John Morrison is mentally backstage as Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley asks him what he's doing. WWE ain't got no plans for don't have nothing but John Morrison to do. I mean, he don't even fit their mold that they much got in WWE. They look at him like John Morrison isn't nobody. So I ain't worried. Big E backstage and Austin Theory gets in his face, take a self, and leaves. I truly think they don't know what they are doing with Dewdrop, even if she were to win the Queen Crown tournament. They have no directions for her. They don't. They don't have. They don't. I'm telling you, they don't have no directions for her. They just really don't, because she just in a Raw Women's division, in a disaster Raw Women's division. We have Kevin is backstage as he asks Mustafa Ali. All in comes Ali, who tells him that he is wasting up time. He tells him that he was trying to help him vote. Mustafa ends up just being a fan, but Masoon is to tell him. Mansoor is to tell him to get his chest. Ali tells him what he is his only lifeline, and without him, he will get eaten alive. Ali say he should have told him this till his he is a loser, he is worthless, he is nothing. Ali attacked Mustafa and tells him Ali Mustafa and tells him he is nothing and walk away. This match is gonna be kicking off. It's gonna be kicking off. So we have, at Crown Jewel. So you know I don't care about this either. Drew McIntyre and Big E versus the Usos. The bell ring. We are underway. Big E and Jimmy are in the ring, and Big E with a right hand. Drew is tagging in as he stomp on Jimmy in the cornball. Big E is tagging back in. He stomp on Jimmy. Dropping is tagging back in. He stomp on Jimmy. Biggie is tagging back in. He stomp on Jimmy. Drew is tagging back in the double team Jimmy. Drew goes for the cover, but Jimmy kicks out in a armbar by Drew, but in a right hand by Jimmy. He goes Drew in the corner and Jay is tagging in the double team. Drew in the corner. Jay goes to climb the top rope, but Drew knocking him down. Drew with a suplex. He goes for the cover, but Jimmy kicks out. Biggie is tagging in the double team. Jay in the ABDOMINAL, a Boardman stretch by Biggie as he sent Jay to the ropes. Jimmy is tagging in a Jimmy with a with a kick to the face. Jimmy stomping on Biggie as Jay is tagging in. He stomp on Biggie and Jimmy is tagging back in. He stomp on Biggie. Jay is tagging back in. He stomped on Biggie. Jim is tagging in, and they double team Biggie. He goes for the cover. Biggie kicks out in a headlock by Jimmy, but Biggie gets to his feet. Jimmy gets Biggie back in the is tagging back in. He stomped on Biggie. Jimmy is back in the double team Big E. He goes for the cover, but Biggie kicks out and headlocks by Jimmy, but Biggie is tagging in Biggie with a superplex on Jimmy J. Throws Biggie onto the ring apron and Jay to the ring apron. Biggie goes for the splash, but Jay moves out of the way. So goes into the ring steps. Big E, back from the commercial break, Jess goes for the cover on Big E, but Big E kicks out. Jay goes for the splash in the corner, but Big E moves out of the way. Big E with the belly to belly. Drew is tagging in, and as Jimmy Drew with a clothesline on Jimmy. He's sending him to the ropes in a release suplex. Drew throws Jimmy around the ring in a spin glass by Jimmy as he goes for the cover. But Jimmy kicks out. Jimmy goes for a DDT, but Jimmy gets out of it. And Jimmy is tagging in. He hit Jimmy with the suplex super kick. He goes for the cover, but Drew kicks out right hand by Jimmy as he left Drew up, but Drew lands on his feet. Drew with a neck breaker. And coming Jimmy in a neck breaker by Drew. Biggie tags himself in. Biggie angers with Drew as Jay hits him with a super kick. He goes for the curve, but Biggie kicks out. Jimmy clam the top rope. He goes for the Usos suplex, but Biggie into Drew. Biggie slam Jay down. He goes for the cover, but Drew pulls Biggie to the outside. Both men's anger on the outside in a right hand by Drew, a right hand by Biggie. Both men's fight on the outside. The referee counter 2-10. They are winner by counter out. The Usos. Drew and Big E fights on the outside and the Usos flying over the top rope onto both men. They grab Big E. Drew gets involved as the knocking down the Usos. Big E Drew fight into the ring. Biggie goes for the big ending, but Drew gets out of it and he hit him with the Claymore kick. But it's a predictable main event as Biggie and Drew can't collide. I am not against those matches, but not to end the show. But look, Drew ain't winning that title. We all know that. He probably gonna be over there to SmackDown because you know the WWE draft ain't official till October. the 22nd, because that's when everybody gonna be on the same brand. We know Biggie gonna be on Monday Night Raw. We already know that either much that Big E is Drew is gonna be over the SmackDown. Big E is gonna be over the Raw. So and that's what I'm saying. Because I had told y'all that last week. So I mean, I'm sitting here looking like, why is Monday Night Raw? And we sit here, you see, I said that I'm gonna bring you some content. I do that. So I mean, this is the results. I got to read the whole results, and I went to every matches on Monday Night Raw. I went to the Queen of Rain tournament, who I want to pick. I say it could be Finn Balor, and then it could be Shayna Baszler. She just needs to destroy every woman to get to the win the Queen of Rain tournament. That's all I just said. What she needs to do. So, and I'm looking like Nia Jax might interfere in the match and cause Shayna Baszler Queen of the Ring. She might. Her Nia Jax versus Shayna Baszler. Oh, it would be a good match. Because Nia Jax probably gonna come back for her revenge. But she has not forgotten. And we have Drew McIntyre versus Biggie. He's going to retain that title at Crown Jewels. Yeah. He's going to retain that belt because I hope he leaves Crown Jewels with the belt. And are you already? I mean, Rhea Ripley's birthday. She wasn't on Monday Night. Yeah, yes, she was. She was on Monday Night Raw backstage. So either with Duke, either with Nikki Ash. So her birthday is today. So Bobby Ashley versus Goldberg in a DQ man. Oh yeah. And I heard that Vince, look, Tony, look at it. I mean, look what Tony Khan doing. Either much talking about beating WWE. Tony Khan don't need to beat no WWE. Look, Tony Khan he has Tony Khan over there in AEW. This man is the boss. He is the one that makes those matches. He's the one pay those producers. He pays those announcers. He paid Ross and Taz the paycheck because they work for him in his company. And Tony Khan though can either much buy more Benzes and more Rolls Royces and more Bentleys, any kind of money that he wanna spend it on. More money that he the much want to spend it on because Tony Khan though, like AEW Rampage, probably would be a shorter show every Friday going up against WWE SmackDown. Look, Tony Khan, he understands about wrestling and all that. He gives the fans what they want because he's the CEO, president, and over there in over there in AEW. Look what he went and got Matt Hardy. He went and signed Matt Hardy, Ruby Soho. He went and signed CM Punk. He went and signed Bryan Danielson. He the much went and signed either much went and signed either if they let Sonny Boy go, maybe they can make room for Kevin Owens and let these other people contract come out, and then you will have Sami Zayn sign in there with him too. And then I'm sitting here looking like, oh man, Tony Khan is a damn genius if he do that. But Tony Khan just can't sign everybody over there in AEW because I would take AEW any day over. I would take AEW any day of the week over WWE because all that talent they got over there to use, but they just need to build the women's division either more over there in AEW. They just need to build it. And look at WWE SmackDown ratings. It's update for last Friday night episode. WWE last Friday night final rating for WWE SmackDown had season premiere of Fox Drew on it, averages of 2.147 million viewers according to ShowBuzzDaily.com. This is down for the 2.252 million viewers the show did last week. Oh, yeah, I read that today. I read that to y'all.
You talk about a wild few hours in the NFL, from good to bad and everything in between. We'll get into all of that here coming up in just a couple of moments from now. It is two pros and a couple of
And so, I mean, we've been all over the place. We've been hours on the show. So, if you like it, thumbs up. But we'll be back right here again on Monday night, bro, at midnight. So, we will be doing SmackDown on Saturday and talk about AEW Rampage. Good night.